So Square Enix just wrapped up its E3 2018 press conference, and what a very, very brief conference it was with, to be honest, not much to show, I've got to say. I don't know, I was thinking E3 had the worst conference so far, but Square Enix has just, it was a bit dull and there wasn't much to show, and at least EA had a few highlights, like Battlefield that were worth watching, whereas with Square Enix I feel like they just turned up for the sake of it, to be honest. I really didn't think they had enough to show to warrant an E3 conference. But anyway, without further ado, let's go through each of their announcements. The conference certainly began on a strong note by showing us more of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We saw a little bit of that during Microsoft's conference, but here we got a meatier look at the upcoming game. So we got to see the opening cinematic where Lara arrives at this new island, and apparently she'll be racing against time to stop a Mayan apocalypse. So it looks like kind of Mayan mythology and legends are going to be the theme of this game. We then got to see some gameplay. There was a real emphasis on stealth, I feel. She was hiding from guards, and rather than just going all out and guns in blazing, they were really showing how she could be stealthy. She could drop down on enemies, take them from behind, use her arrows to distract them, and construct items to help her overcome them. So that was very promising. I do like a bit of stealth, but also I'm sure the gunplay we're used to is also still in full effect. So there was a really good bit as well where a guard needed to open a door, and he asked another guard for the code and said it to him. And I felt like that was a really organic way of getting players to gain information rather than just like finding a key card or something. If you stay quiet for a minute, you might overhear things that are useful to you in the game. So that was a nice touch. The game looks absolutely stunning, as have all the others, and especially on PC and the Xbox One X, I'm sure it's gonna run really well and just look absolutely beautiful. And I love the location. The dense jungles. It really does look wonderful. We saw that there's going to be new ways of traversing your environment, so a bit like Uncharted 4, there's now grappling hooks to help you get about. There's wall running, which I imagine will help you, get over large gaps in the floor and such. And there's swimming, so it's going to be totally, they really emphasised that it's 360 degrees swimming. Any way you want to go, it's going to feel realistic and natural, so that should be good. We saw a few underwater enemies, like a giant eel. And they also said that this is the largest Tomb Raider world that we'll get to explore, and is full of new tombs to uncover that are full of dangers and treasures and the like. And yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is set to be released this year on September 14th, and I think it's looking really good. I'm definitely going to be getting this one. Then we saw some of Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood, and it seems like there's going to be a patch called Under the Moonlight, and it's going to add some Monster Hunter elements to the game, and that's set to be released this summer. So if you're a big fan of Monster Hunter, you want to see some of your Final Fantasy, it looks like some of those beasties are going to be available to hunt. So good luck with that. We then saw more of the episodic adventure game The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which we first saw at Microsoft's conference, and is set in the same universe as the Life is Strange episodic series. This is not Season 2 of Life is Strange though, this is its own story, but apparently it will tie into Season 2, so you should keep your eyes peeled when playing it for hints at what might be coming our way for Life is Strange Season 2. Now they've said it's going to be free June 26th. I assume that means this is episodic, and the first episode will be free June 26th for you to try, and then you can pay for the rest. Or maybe they're all free. I doubt it. I imagine it's just the first episode. But yeah, certainly looks interesting. We didn't really see much more than what was shown at the Microsoft conference, but yeah, I mean, it looks decent. Dragon Quest XI was then shown, and I have to admit I'm not very familiar with this series, but I was quite impressed by what I saw. It looks like a fun game, it looks like an interesting, fantasy adventure game, very kind of pleasing art style and visuals, And yeah, as I say, I don't have a lot of insight into this series, but it looks good. And yeah, I have to say, I might pick it up if I have a lull in my back catalogue of games. We then saw the reveal of a completely new game called Babylon's Fall. Now, this is coming from Platinum Games, who do those, excellent fast-paced hack and slash games like, kind of your Metal Gear Rising type games. They're well known for that and well loved for it, and rightly so. It's stated to come out in 2019 and is by the same person who created the Bayonetta series. So, I think we could expect big things. That's definitely a well worth series, and definitely, just the fact that the creator behind Bayonetta is behind it will have a lot of people interested. We didn't give a lot away. It seemed like kind of a fantasy night setting, kind of reminded me of Dark Souls a little bit, but again, it was very short, not many details, so, who knows, but certainly one to watch out for. We then again saw the same trailer shown during Microsoft's conference for Nier Automata.
We will take back our world from the scourge of the machine.
In that trailer, it was exactly the exact same trailer. As we learned, it will have all the DLC, come to Xbox in 2016. And, as I said, the trailer was exactly the same one that was shown during the Microsoft conference. I don't know why they felt the need to show it again. But if they felt it was that important, why did they let Xbox have it?
To mankind.
Again, didn't really feel worth having on your E3 stage when it's something that's that short and already been shown. We then got a look at Octopath Traveler, which is out July 2018, so not long to wait at all for the Nintendo Switch. And there's been a lot of buzz around this game, and it was great to see it again at E3. But again, it was such a short look. They didn't go into depth at all, and their conference was so short anyway. Why didn't they? They certainly had time. What we saw, it looks great. It looks like a really charming RPG. I really like the visuals. It looks interesting. But again, why did they bother having this conference when they didn't show us more of their games, more about them, flesh them out? So, yeah, there you go. Then one of the few games they did show in depth was Just Cause 4. I've been a big fan of the Just Cause series since the first one came out, the PS2. I remember that. I'm that old. And yeah, they're not big, they're not clever, but they're mindless fun, and they are a lot of fun. And Just Cause 4 seems to be no exception. It looks stunning. The games have always been pretty, but this one looks especially nice. Rico has apparently gone rogue. They said that it's going to be the largest map they've made so far, which is really something, because I mean, if you look at Just Cause 2's map especially, it's absolutely enormous, so they're really going big this time. They've said there's going to be wildlife, which is something I think is really cool. In the past games, the maps have always felt very empty. They're very lush, and there's lots of space that hasn't been taken by humans, and yet there's never any wildlife there. So I'm really happy. I hope there's a kind of Red Dead Redemption kind of ecosystem going on. That could be really cool if they pull it off. I also thought there was a nice variation on locations. Again, that's something that's been in past games and seems to be continuing with this one. They also said there's going to be, it's going to feature extreme weather, which can destroy the environment, your enemies, cars and stuff. So it looks like that's going to be really a dynamic part of the game. There's going to be sandstorms, tornadoes, blizzards, and you'll have to adapt to that, and it could hinder your gameplay, but also will help you defeat your enemies, so that could be pretty cool. I can also see it helping you do some really cool stunts, like imagine flying into a tornado on your wingsuit, pretty cool. Lots of new vehicles, the driving system has been overhauled, so hopefully it'll be a bit tighter than in past games. There's more to the grappling hook now. You've got more tethers, so you can tether more stuff really and just create more chaos. There's also airlift grapples, so you can stick them on your car and take flight. Kind of very Metal Gear Solid 5 there. Improved AI, that's good. It's always been a bit dumbed down in the past, so hopefully the AI will be more of a challenge this time around. And they said it was powered by the new Apex engine. And you can certainly see they've got a new engine. I mean, it does look really, really pretty and very powerful as well, the amount of destruction going on. Kind of reminded me of Crackdown 3 to that end. And it's set to be released this year on December 4th. So get your grappling hooks ready, because we're going to be going out on it this year. A brand new game was then revealed called The Quiet Man. But again, we learned almost nothing about this game. They announced it and yet told us just about nothing. Nothing, no details, no nothing. So again, it's like they had plenty of time. Well, why did they bother just showing this much? They should have either announced it and given us lots of details, or just not announced it until they could give us details. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it started off as a live action trailer, and then turned to CG, presumably in engine, and it was basically this emo guy beating up some gangsters. And yeah, apparently it's coming in August, so surely they should have been able to show us a lot. I mean, surely they'd want to get the hype going. But you know, August is just around the corner. But it seemed like there was some kind of street brawl. Maybe it's some kind of fighting game. And yeah, with the live action trailer, it makes me wonder if maybe this is some kind of live action game. Will some of it be CG? Some of it be live action? Will there be bits you watch, like Quantum Break? I'm not sure. I have no answers, and they didn't give us much. But anyway, The Quiet Man. Keep an eye out. And then we came to the end of Square Enix's very short conference. Did they end on a high note? Did they show us something exciting to make up for all the rest? No, they just showed the exact same Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer they showed during the Microsoft conference. Basically the one saying it was coming to the Xbox. So yeah, if you've seen that, you've seen this, which I had. So yeah, as I say, it appears to have many of the Disney characters: Frozen, the girl from Tangled, Hercules, Mickey Mouse, all the rest, all the ones you'd expect, and it's coming January 29th. I really don't know what else to say about it, because it was literally the trailer Microsoft showed us, and I talked about that there. So, yeah, what a great way to end on a low note, Square Enix. Well done. Brilliant stuff. So there you have it. That was Square Enix's E3 press conference, and in my opinion, the worst one so far. And I thought EA's was pretty bad. But I mean, at least they had some exciting bits that made you sit up, whereas this one, it just seemed bizarre. It was so short, half an hour in total, and you know, the things they showed, the only meaty bits they showed us were Just Cause and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then they announced a couple of new games, but they were teasers at best. We didn't even have someone come on stage and talk about them. We learned almost nothing about them. And then they showed a bunch of trailers that were already shown at the Microsoft conference, and ended on a trailer shown at the Microsoft conference. So I mean, it was just bizarre. Does Square Enix know that they don't have to turn up to E3 every year? If they're having a year where they don't feel they've got much to show, then they shouldn't show anything. That's fine. No, you know, some companies don't. That's the way it goes. But yeah, really bizarre. I mean, I can't imagine how much money they spent just to show off such little amount of games and to tell us information we already know. I mean, the games we didn't know about, they didn't tell us anything about, and the games we did know about, they didn't expand upon. So, yeah, what a bizarre one. I mean, I think to me that was my least favourite one. What do you think?